All right, so Eric, tell us about, we're going to start with the
DJI OSMO Pocket. Pocket OSMO? DJI Pocket OSMO. OSMO Pocket.
Yeah.
There's so many OSMOs.
So you got this thing last year.
We got it for a week-long trip through the countryside where we needed something small that I can just hop in and out of cars, like just in
Running into cornfields.
running into cornfields, like running into fields. I got to run into a field. And I should have brought my beta camera so we can see what we started with in life, and now we're where we are now today. But I needed something small, portable, that was easy to turn on and just worked. And what I got was this.
Well, let's see it.
And it
I think everybody's seen it.
everybody knows. I mean, if you're watching this, you're like, I know what the Pocket is right now. So we all know what the Pocket is, and it's bare essentials version. Got the little connection. You plug it into the phone. You're good to go.
But it's got a 4K
4K
camera on a gimbal. Yeah.
Yes, and it literally fits in your pocket. I mean, it's usually you hear Pocket this or Tiny this, and it's not really, but this freaking goes in your pocket, and you pull it out, turn on, and you're good to go. I like that.
I like it too. So far, we're good.
Are we getting to the point where we don't like it?
Well, let's talk. So you used this on our crop tour last year and got some phenomenal shots that you wouldn't normally be able to get down in cornfields with our scouts doing
Right. It was to the point where people couldn't even understand how we did it.
Right.
And how we did it so fast. Like you were literally just in the field, and that's online now. How did that happen? Because it's just the technology has come so fast, so far, so fast.
Yeah.
And how we did that, I mean, you obviously, if you know the DJI ecosystem, you know that you can get this stuff to go right into your phone, right into your photo library. You can put that right onto the web.
Use Premiere Rush, do some quick editing.
Which we'll talk
and
about
then some other time, yeah. So it was great. For that application, worked wonderfully.
Yes.
Then I took it out to try to do some interviews.
And you being the audio guy, you had a problem with
But there is a fatal flaw with this device.
It's not a fatal flaw.
It is well, we fixed it. But in the device of itself, there is a fatal flaw. And that fatal flaw is the microphone. Is that little dot right there. Now, for what it is, that microphone performs amazingly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are in the right direction from this microphone with little to no wind, it sounds amazing for what it is. But
the right direction is?
The right direction is, if you want to do an interview with somebody like this, it doesn't work because the microphone is facing you.
It's designed for people to see it themselves.
It's designed for narcissists, yes. This is a narcissistic device.
It's made for narration.
Yeah.
It's for catching stupid people doing stupid stuff and narrating in the process.
But that's not how we need to use it.
No, it's not. We needed it to act like a professional tool.
And in fact, it came to a head with, we had one of our on-air people was going to an event where they needed to do some quick interviews and didn't have capacity to carry a lot of equipment and couldn't take a camera and sticks with them.
Right.
And so he said, what can we do that I can take with me pretty easily? And you came up with a pretty good solution.
Well, at first we thought we'd just take this and we'd somehow get an audio microphone into a wireless system. And then we found that DJI just came up with the adapter.
Yeah, they finally.
And you cannot use the off-brand.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you get the one from DJI or else you're going to have problems.
$30 for something that's worth
Yeah, it's like $35, yeah.
Plugging this in down here, the USB-C connection, taking your standard, what is that?
1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter.
Yeah, we use a Sennheiser. Plug that in.
And then there's a TRS connection on the TRRS.
Yeah.
It's got the two black rings on it.
The two black rings. You plug in the audio and it works.
Yeah, and this Sennheiser kit worked amazingly well because it's dead simple.
Now, we got it. Okay, so this is a little bit pricier than what a lot of people would start off with. But we use this because we trusted it.
Yeah, we use this on the regular cameras when our video teams are out shooting whatever it is they're shooting, and they work. They're dead simple and rock solid and sound clean.
Right. And the theory was we wanted to bring this into our normal production ecosystem. Yes. And this adapter allowed us to do just that. We brought in a real professional audio setup into a tiny $300 stabilized camera.
with
a little help. Well, this didn't come originally. This was because Eric broke the other portable.
Well, we had a similar one, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stress on this tiny little piece of plastic that this thing was on. And
that's the adapter that goes into
the adapter that goes into it. It lasted one shoot with me, and then I kind of broke it. Yeah. So I went on, I believe, Amazon. I'll find the link to this thing. And I love this little adapter. Allows you to plug it in here. It's pretty solid. And you can stick your phone on the back here. It's got a little springy clamp. Then you also get a cold shoe mount right on top of that, and a 1/4-inch mount down here.
Yeah, so you can put your
this
white mic receiver on there.
Hard to do while you're describing it, but yeah.
Or you can put a light on there that's also got a cold shoe on top of it.
You do that also. That's really what we've figured out for indoors, is putting a light that has the cold shoe, and that's battery operated. That sticks up here. That also puts your wireless up a little higher, and then you still have controls for everything all around it.
And so this reporter was able to go and put it up on a light stand with just something that literally fits right in your hand. Mm-hmm. Set the face tracking on the Osmo.
Set it over to the side.
And then just do the interview. Yeah. Didn't have to worry about it anymore. Great 4K video as long as you've got decent lighting.
But you got to know the limitations of every piece of gear. You got to know where the limitations lie. And this thing, it has no zoom. It doesn't zoom. You got to have the right setup.
Well, the zoom is 2 feet.
Yeah, I mean it's designed to be right here for what we use it for. But you have to know, and that's your lighting anyway. Your lighting is set for right in the area too. You're doing an interview. That's why this makes a lot of sense for interviews, because it's designed to be in that little 2-foot box of an interview that's just happening real fast.
Right. So if we were going out, again, talking our neck of the woods, going out to a farm to get B-roll, you're not going to take that because it's, well, although we have used it for some B-roll, but it's not the ideal tool for that. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is you can't tell outside when we use it for B-roll. You just can't, unless you look for the stabilized footage and you're like, oh, well, that's obviously been stabilized or something. Yeah. But as far as matching up to the Sony cameras we have XD cam cameras that this matches up to really well.
Indeed. Well, and then the other thing that really, when I fell in love with this kit that you came up with was I was out at the Consumer Electronics Show just a few weeks ago, right. And I just didn't want to carry a kit with me because, I mean, you know how big the Las Vegas Convention Center is. Imagine carrying a camera and tripod around. Yeah, you have done it.
I've done that at trade shows.
And, so one, I don't want to carry it, period. And two, I'm not going to carry it any more than I have to. With this setup, I had literally, just imagine a phone on the other side here. I don't have.
While you talk, I'll set it up.
Okay. So I've got this kit that literally fits in one hand like this that I can carry around that weighs less than a pound. And so I got video that I wouldn't normally get because I had it with me.
Right.
And it was dead simple to use. Just pull this mic pack out of my pocket, mic somebody up, ready to go, shoot the video, done and on. And I could even do a quick edit and send it up to our website straight from my phone in just a matter of minutes.
Right. If you saw me grimacing a little bit, because it's such a tight fit to get this on. It's designed, I mean, it will hold it. It's solid whenever you put this together.
You and your monster phone.
Well, it's just a plus. So I'm up and running. Everything's good to go. And I've got the ability to, let's put this thing on. Just put this little guy on.
It's actually, I like using it even without that handle.
Yeah. And this is just a cheapo GoPro mount. So I'm able to put that on there, and I have a really solid grip. Everything's tidy. And then I want to put my microphone cable on.
Yeah, and here, let's
do that.
Let's do a little sample where you can see what this looks like and hear what it sounds like.
It's easier when you have this thing put on a tripod or a monopod.
And let's just do a quick and dirty mic up and see how it sounds and looks.
We got a pair of the Sennheisers and stuff.
Just power them on.
Are they synced?
Yeah. Yeah, when you initially get these Sennheiser packs, you have to sync them together, but once you've synced them, you just power them on and they're ready to go.
Powered on.
All right. So flip it over here and let's record a little bit and see, and show folks what it looks like. So, and again, you know, it's real simple, real handy to take out to something like a trade show or something where you need to be very mobile. The face tracking works pretty well on there to be able to just see and track something while you're trying to do an interview without a videographer with you.
Right.
So you set the face tracking so you don't have to spend as much time paying attention to whether the camera is on the person or not. It'll, within reason, take care of it for you. And again, with this Sennheiser kit, sounds pretty darn good.
This brings up the one point I don't like about this whole setup. One of the main points I don't like. You cannot see your levels or anything until you have started recording.
Well, yeah, and everybody treats, in the quasi-consumer video space, treats audio as an afterthought.
Yeah, which drives us nuts because we're trying to look at, I forget what we were doing. We were trying to set up something and do audio, and we had to keep running back and hitting it, see, and come back and hit it.
Right. Yeah, and there's no live monitor out with this.
Play it back. Yeah.
So ultimately, it's a nice compact kit that a reporter can take out with them very easily, a very low cost.
Yep.
I mean, a lot cheaper. Even with a $1,000 Sennheiser mic, you got a lot cheaper kit than most reporter kits are.
That camera or that
camera.
Yeah.
Especially that camera.
Especially that camera.
And it's for run and gun reporting,
Yeah.
where you don't need a zoom. That is a big caveat. But if you don't need a zoom, that's going to do a good a job as just about any kit out there for quick and dirty TV web work.
This thing on a monopod can outshoot me on a trade show. I mean, with my camera and my tripod and my light all over the place, I'm moving from booth to booth, and it's taking forever. This guy can just roll up just that, you pan, get your shots, move on.
And so we fixed the fatal flaw in the OSMO Pocket.
Wasn't a fatal flaw.
It was a fatal flaw because I'm not the narcissist you are.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this one forever.
Yes, for what it's designed for, yes.
But I used it in the field to record someone, and that sounded amazing, didn't it?
It did, under that circumstance. But how often are you under that right circumstance where you can get that audio?
At least once, and that's all that mattered. It's just one time is all it takes. So let's get down to what exactly is in this kit, how much it costs. And I don't know that exactly.
Well, we know again the Sennheiser pack with the receiver, the transmitter, and the sorted cables, and 2 extra battery packs.
Right.
One for this and one for this is roughly $1,000.
Right. And what you got to look at is overall you're spending $300, or what is it, $309 now I think for this thing at the time of taping this. You got a $35 adapter, which buy at least 2 because you're going to lose them. And then this guy, I'll put the description down below, but
you're under $50 for the rig.
The one thing we don't have on here that won't make sense inside anyway is ND filters for this thing because it has no neutral density filter. When you're shooting outside, you'll get that shutter, the shutter judder, just everything that crazy shutter angle. But putting an ND filter on this thing will do magic with that video. The problem is you'll lose them like crazy.
Yeah, because they're magnetic. They don't lock on there really tightly. So
they don't lock on at all.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with the front of that while you're using it.
So buy the 6-pack and use the ones you don't like first. Right. You'll lose them. But that'll do wonders for the video itself.
Okay, so we're looking at roughly $1,500 all in on this kit.
Yes.
But here we like to go as cheap as we can, right? With it, but still have a good quality kit.
I know where this is going.
Yeah. So we've just started playing with these, and there's some things we like, some things we don't like, but there is Saramonic makes this kit that's similar. Rode has a similar kit, and that has these clip-on mics. But what makes the Saramonic one unusual in the class is that there's actually 2 microphones included in the kit, and you get 2 lav mics,
which are actually pretty good.
They're decent.
Yeah, I mean for the price point, they're good.
Right. So you get the 2 lav mics, the 2 mic packs that also work as microphones in their own right without a lav mic.
We were doing the old. What do you think about that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they work reasonably, and you get the receiver, you get a multitude of cables. You get both the cable that'll go into a DSLR with the 2 rings, or one that goes into a cell phone with the 3 rings, for $250.
Yep.
Plus 3 USB-C charging cables, one for each device, which is unusual.
Might sound like a lot at first until you look at any other microphones that do this. Which, well, first, there aren't any other microphones that do 2 that I know of that do 2 into 1 at this price point. And there's nothing that has the ability to do the cable in, cable out, or adapt to your phone. I don't know if there's anything else out there.
Well, just that Rode, but it only has 1, not 2.
It's in a
So there are a lot of compelling things for this, but as with anything, when you drop the price, you've got some trade-offs.
Yeah.
There is a not insignificant noise floor on these,
which we figured out.
We figured out you can adjust for it. A lot of it comes from you're hooking it into consumer level devices too, and so they're making that noise floor worse.
Yes.
So you need to, it's not like the Sennheiser, you plug it in, it's clean, you go. With these, you're going to have to adjust a little bit to get clean audio.
We haven't done a range test either, have we?
No, but in looking in some of the things, the range is decent for, what you're going to be using that kit for, within, you're not going to go over 30 feet.
I always laugh when I see those range tests on YouTube where they're like, we went a half mile away to see if it still worked. Why are you doing that? Why are you so far away? No one ever needs to go that far away.
The other challenge with these is the battery is integrated in it.
Yes.
So if your battery goes dead, you're down for 20 minutes or so.
But it shares that with the Sennheisers because they're the same way.
Well, but you can change out battery packs on this.
If you want to invest in that.
Yeah, well, it comes with a spare battery pack.
It does. But
so
I'm saying though, Rode is the same. They're all
they're all internal battery packs. So you do that, but
you can't just swap out a battery in the field.
But the bottom line is, if you're doing something that is mission critical, that you're out working for a client or something,
obviously you're going to go with that.
Get the Sennheiser. If you're doing quick web work or something like that, you might be able to get by with these Ceremonics if you're willing to do a little extra work to make sure you get the audio set right.
So overall, it's a quality product. We haven't tested it out enough to know for sure if it's going to fit. We will be testing it out.
The channel. We'll give you more on it.
I'm going to use these and see if I can notice a difference on my production work.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, closing thoughts on our Franken monster here.
I mean, it's not done. I have other plans I'm going to put this thing together with.
Don't make it any bigger.
Well, no, I'm working on more of a handle situation where you can hold it better and then still be able to go back and forth. This is nice and it's adjustable, but it's still just a big old, and you can't set it down.
Yeah, but that is a problem. You can't set it down.
You can't set this down because there's nowhere to set it down. You have to have some way to put it together on a Gorilla Pod or a monopod or something like that. But I want something that I can just plop down and then pick up and be fine.
But when I was using it at CES, I didn't have this handle with me, and quite frankly, I didn't. If I did it again, I wouldn't want it because that works great right there. And well, you got a monster phone. My phone is that big, but you're just carrying around the show floor like this. You don't really, it's nothing like carrying a camera around.
Did you get any looks?
Oh yeah, of course you get looks, especially when you're out there shooting on well, CES you don't as much.
Yeah, they're used to that kind of stuff. Yeah. The reporter we had, he got some weird looks.
Yeah, and about a week later, I was in Austin, Texas, at the American Farm Bureau Federation Convention where President Trump was speaking. Yeah. I did get weird looks there as I'm out getting crowd reaction, but again,
it works though.
Yeah, I didn't have to go and preset a camera at 6 a.m. I was able to just take this in with me through Secret Service security and then able to quickly get reaction from the crowd right afterwards.
Right, and that does bring up one last point of this, is that it is very, very discreet, as long as you're not doing the full kit. The Osmo alone with just, I mean, I've used that thing to get not sneaky footage, but like footage where I don't want people just staring at the camera.
You don't want people to react.
You don't want people to react on some of this footage we're getting, and this does an excellent job of that. I mean, you hold it. I mean, you've seen those. They're just holding it like this, and you can't tell.
There it is. So, again, a nice, simple, elegant very quality solution at a couple different price points. And we'll come back. We're going to do some more in depth on both the Sennheiser mic pack and on the Ceramonic mic pack. Give you some really good sense of how they work with the OSMO Pocket. And so at the end of the day, it's a nice, portable, compact, can be very affordable kit that's going to get you good quality video and audio if you got it set up right.
I totally agree with you.
Right.
Now that the audio's been fixed, right?
The audio has been fixed. We're no longer all narcissists.
Sore subject.
Well, because it hurts so much that it was so close to being perfect, and it just had that one problem that kept me from using it the way I wanted to.
You know why that microphone's on the back, and I guarantee this is the reason. It's because they thought if they put it on the front, someone's going to be touching it the whole time with their hands, and you get that shh, 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 shh. So they put it in the one spot where you're not going to be touching it unless you're wanting to touch it to start the recording, and that's the record button. So it's right there by the record button.
And that's supposed to make me feel better.
It's a necessary evil.
We fixed it.
Anyway,
we can move on.
If you want to see how we built this and all the parts to this thing, we're going to have all the details of the parts, the links down below on the video, and we're also going to put a full write-up of all this build in a post on the website.
On 2avguys.com.
Well, I'm Eric.
I'm John.
That's it. We're done.
See ya.